Dragons, I'm back. So I'm here to do my ALA haul. It is a bit late, I do apologize. But I'm going to do my ALA haul a little bit different. The first video you're going to see are the books that I went to ALA sort of not knowing anything about, and I sort of picked them up on a whim. And then my second video is going to be the books that I kind of went in knowing I was hunting for. If you've never been to ALA, it is a professional conference. I mean, anyone can really go. I just get to go because I'm a teacher, but you can go. This year it was in Chicago. Next year it's going to be in San Diego, and it's mostly for librarians and teachers to see what they want to put on their shelves next year. But I'm mostly a book blogger, as you guys know, because I make content. So the fewest books I always get is adult because I don't read a ton. But these are all authors that I'm at least aware of, or the covers seemed interesting. So I'm going to talk about those first. Then I'm going to do YA, and then I'm going to do middle grade. YA and middle grade are going to have more because that's mostly what I'm looking for as a reader, just because that's what I prefer. But I picked up Midnight Showing by Megan Shepherd. This is a book that's coming out in October. This is the book 2 to Malice House, which I got last year. I still haven't read, but this has to do with, I think it's like a it has like a I don't know. I have no idea what it's about, but I know it's more horror, and I've been trying to read more horror. But it's about the Hollywood mansions of California and a string of murders report to the members of her family. And that's it. So I'm very excited. So I think it has to do with the entertainment industry. So I'm excited for this one as well. Sorry, my dog's barking. Pause. Horror book. I do have Malice House on my TBR as well. And then I picked up The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen by K.J. Charles. This is a historical fiction book with an LGBTQ plus twist. I don't normally physically read them, but I saw this and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And this cover is very pretty. And this is from Source Books Fire. And I think it came out in March. So this book's already actually out. And then I pick up The Spells Love by Kate Robb. And this is a witchy paranormal romance. And it comes out in December, so I'll probably read it around the October season, because I think it has to do with witchy, but I'm excited. I love books about witches, like romance. I also pick up The Embroidered Book by Kat Hartfield. This actually comes out in August, I think. But it is a book about magic. I think. Yeah, it has to do, it's something about, I think it's a book about, inspired loosely by Marie Antoinette. It's very big, but I like it, so I'm excited. Hopefully I get to read it. I've been trying to get into YA, into adult fantasy. I also picked up another Christmas book, which is Love Holly by Emily Stone, and these don't have really any like summaries. It comes out in September, but a woman tries to heal a rift with her elderly pen pal's family in time for Christmas, all while falling in love and maybe with her own family. And this is the one that wrote Always in December and One Last Gift. So that one's cute, and I will definitely read it for the holidays. Fancy Meeting You Here by Louis T.U. is a in the vein of 27 dresses that celebrate weddings and female friendship. So that's really exciting. This comes out in November. I also picked up Kissing Kosher by Jean Meltzer. She was actually there signing, so I got my book signed, and I liked her first one. Her first one was set around Christmas, so this has to do with like another like baking competition, I think, and I loved it. But she was signing. That was really cool. I also got an arc of Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. This is coming, I don't know when this book comes out, to be very honest. I think it comes out in August, but this is like her fantasy. It's very short. It's like 116 pages, but I also have an e-arc of it, but when I saw that they were handing it out, I figured I would grab a copy. I think she was signing too, but I had to leave early. Play the Fool by Lena Chen is another like cozy mystery that has to do with tarot cards. And The Beginning of Everything by Jackie Fraser is another Penguin book. And this is from the author of The Bookshop of Second Chances. So those are all the adult books that I picked up that like are pure adult that I really knew nothing about. They are honestly my smallest pile always because I don't read a ton of adult. But now let's get into the YA books that piqued my interest. These are books that I didn't go in there knowing anything about, but they piqued my interest, and that's why I grabbed them. Friends, I missed one. I missed an adult book, Mina Wood by Nicola Griffin. This is an adult title that is a sequel and I picked it up accidentally, but I still do want to read adult fantasy, so I'm gonna give the first book a shot and see how I feel about it, but I do have a copy. So I definitely will say a lot of the YA books I did pick up you will see later. These are just the ones that I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge going into, so they're not on the books I was hunting for. The Blackwoods by Brandy Colbert. I mostly got it because I like this author, or I've heard about her. And I think this has to do with like Hollywood, another Hollywood themed book, which I love a good book about Hollywood. So yeah, this is from Harper and it comes out in October. Secrets Never Arrive by Vincent Ralph. I've been trying to get into more horror. I read my first horror book this month and really enjoyed it. You'll see that in another video because I really wanted that book. But it says the ceremony, the tradition, the dark place, one night a year, we bury our secrets. Now we have a life of their own. They hold funerals somewhere every single year and then someone starts terrorizing them. Was this the one I got signed? No, this is the one I got from Wednesday. I did meet this author on a different line, but you'll see that in another video. Give Me a Sign by Anna Sorenton. This has Def Rap, which I'm really excited for. I actually do have an e-arc of this one as well, but I knew that Penguin was giving this out, so I asked for a copy. And I got A Pretty Implausible Premise by Karen Rivers. This is just I saw Taylor Swift, and it's like, I think it's a love story kind of inspired loosely by Taylor Swift. They have an Olympic element to it, and I'm excited. This book comes out in September, so A Pretty Implausible Premise by Karen Rivers. I also got these two, came from the same publisher, Straight Expectations, Be Careful What You Wish For. And these is from an LGBTQ advocate they basically switched places, I think. He switched places with someone, and I think, yeah, so that's a cute cover. And then I got Red by Annie Carty. This is another book from Union Square Co. And this is about, I think it's kind of like a Scarlet Letter retelling, I think. So, yeah. And I also picked up a copy of Name Drop by Susan Lee. I haven't read anything by this author, but I want to. My friend, Literary Book Nerd, I think, she posts a lot on YouTube, and she really was excited when I met her. I met her at Y'all Fest, and she wanted to meet her. So this is a new author of Soulmates, comes YA romance with mistaken identities, Summer of a Lifetime, and a love to worth risk for. A very, very cute summer read, which I will probably read in September because September is a crazy month for me. And here are a couple of the more, you know, fantasy. I got Spells We Cast by Jason June. This is from Melissa De La Cruz Studio. And this is Cemetery Boys and Carry On, a story of spell slinging, lasso swinging, and star-crossed love. So I think this is kind of like a Western with magic. I actually got this sent to me. I didn't get this at the con, but they were giving away copies at the con. I got A Princess of Thorns and Nightmares by Lindsay Miller. They have done the Princess novels, but now they're doing the Prince novels. And I don't know which, oh, I think that this is the Prince in Maleficent and Sleeping Beauty. I also got A Spark in the Cinders by Jenna Elder Moak. She wrote a lot of like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the mystery, but it's her first book that's kind of like a unique premise, and it's just like a fantastical story. Sorry, my dog has come to visit. A kingdom on the brink of ruin. One wicked stepsister will use her wits, cunning, and fortitude, plus to embark on a dangerous quest for a magical relic that will save her people. So I think this might like be loosely inspired by a fairy tale, but it is kind of like a, you know, maybe it's like a take on Cinderella. I don't know. But that is what they've been doing. They've been kind of taking unique premises and kind of like adapting them. So this one I'm excited for as well. And then I got Wild Wishes and Windstep Kisses by Maria Parasad. This is the sequel to her first book, but I think this one is set in the fall. It comes out in October, and I want to read the first one because the first one was kind of inspired by, it gave me like Jenny Han vibes. So this one is a direct sequel. I think it's in the fall, and it follows the same set of sisters in the same inn, which I'm really excited for. This is book I'm so excited for. I'm going to take the sticker out now, but this is Damned If You Do by Alex Brown. It's another horror book, but it's queer Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Filipino Filipino in a heartfelt horror comedy about a high school stage manager who accidentally sells her soul to a demon. I was a stage manager, like, for my whole career, so I just love this. I love that she gave us some bookmarks. We have a second that tug week is. My puppy was getting in trouble. But this is a book loosely inspired by the tech industry, but the stage manager accidentally summons the demon. So I'm really excited for this one. I was a stage manager for quite a while and I've been trying to read more horror. I like that it says it's like comedy horror, which does work for me more often, so I will give this a shot, and it comes out in August. I also got another one that I have heard of this author before, and I read one of his book a very, very long time ago, but Book by William Ritter comes out in August, and it is set in the same world as the Jacoby series, but I think it's like a companion book, and I'm excited to give this book a shot because I like that series, but I didn't love it enough to keep reading it. I also got an Arc of Beholder by Brian LaSala, the author of The Honeys. I read one book by this author and didn't love it, but I figured I would give it a shot, and this has to do with part paranormal thriller, part gothic, and wall-to-wall horror. Beholder is the richest still blinding, the monstrous side of beauty, and what it can do to us when we're caught up in its web. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what happens. It comes out in October, and I will definitely give it a shot. A Prayer for Vengeance I got from Page Street Publishing, and this is another book that has to do with gods, I think. It comes out in September, and I just like this cover. It was pink, and it was unique. So I guess, yeah. But it has to do with like mythology, I think. And I also picked up a copy of A Tall Dark Trouble by Vanessa Mortman. And this is practical magic, and it's about a Cuban American family of brujas who get entangled in love, magic, and murder, alternating between 1980s Cuba and contemporary Miami. This comes out in August, but I think this would be great for like the fall season because it has to do with witches, and there are 2 timelines in this one. So yeah, that is all of the adult books or the YA books I think that I gathered that I don't know much about. And now we're going to get into the middle grade books that I don't know much about, but I still grab. Mostly I grab these for my students. There are a couple of them that I did grab just because like I know about them. But yeah, we'll do that next. Friends, I'm back with my first stack of YA middle grade books, sorry. And these are the books I don't know anything about, but again, I'm a middle school teacher and I just went off vibes and covers. So I got Rosie Thorne and the Falcon Queen by Jerry Hallihorna. I just like this cover. That was really, really cool. It's a sweeping fantasy filled with hidden islands, family secrets, shocking betrayals, beautiful music, and girl power by music icon Jerry Halliway Horner. Now, was that the girl from Spice Girls? I don't know. So, interesting. No, it's not. Oh, it is. It's actually written by Ginger Spice. That's really, really cool, from Spice Girls. That's really, really cool. All right. I'm game. Yeah, she is from the Spice Girls, so that's interesting. So I'll give this a shot. I'll see if I like it. The cover is really fun, and hopefully I enjoy it. I also picked up Keon Masters, The Fearless Magic Crew by Devon Saunders. This comes out in October. When Keon Masters arrives at a perilous academy, he expects to be stuck in a boring classroom about how to be a better poet, but instead he finds secret passageways, unexplained portals, corrupt magic, and he turns up magic by putting poetry to rhythm. I'm a drama teacher, so I always look for books that kind of have a magic or artistic element, and this book seems like it would be good, and I love the cover, so I'll probably read this, and it's set to come out in October from Inkyard Press. I also got a graphic novel of Silverwing by Kenneth Opel. I think this is like an actual book, but this got turned into a graphic novel, and it thinks it would be perfect for Halloween because it has these really, really great illustrations. But yeah, I got this one from Simon & Schuster. I also got a copy of The Cursed Moon by Angela Cervantes. This comes out in September. And this is a chilling ghost story about family facing your fears and standing up for what matters most. Very, very short. I might save this for that reading challenge I do every October, but we will see. But yeah, that's where we are with this one. I also got a book from Disney called Princess Private Eye by Evelyn Skye. She is a very, very popular YA author, but this is her middle grade debut. And she is in the foster care system, and I think she gets sent to this kingdom where she is suddenly a princess, but she's kind of like trying to solve crimes when she's there. So that's interesting. And this comes out, she just came out, so it came out in May. I also got Totally Psychic by Bridget Martin. And this is, I think this has to do with, oh, there was a mythology. Yeah. I don't know what mythology it was, but this one has to do with psychics. So I'm excited. I really hope I like this one as well. And again, it comes out in August. But Oh, I don't remember the mythology it was. Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but that's okay. But I really hope to read this one soon. Again, I think it will be perfect for Halloween. I also got a copy of Stormbringer, The Predator Stone by G.R. Bowden. This is another like really, really rich middle grade that is very, very chunky. Reminds me of reading Keeper of the Lost Cities, but it has to do with a dragon. So I think, yeah, maybe a dragon. So I actually want to do a dragon reading vlog where I read some middle grade that have to do with dragons, and this one might get added. I also got The Bravest Warrior in Africa by L.D. Elsett. I actually met him and he signed my book for me. I got this one signed to me. But yeah, so I'm really, really excited for this one. And again, I love books about parallel universes. And I also got a copy of The Curious Vanishing of Beatrice Willoughby. And I don't know what this is about, but I started reading it on the plane and then I put it down. But it sounds to me like this girl has to solve a kidnapping, I think. But it's told from a lot of different point of view. So that intrigued me. And now let's get into the next deck. The next deck is mostly fantasy books that I just had to grab because I felt like I would probably read them. When I read middle grade, it tends to be, sorry, I'm like really zoomed in. It tends to be like science fiction and fantasy just because those are the vibes I want. So I picked up the Super Secret Octagon Valley Society by Melissa De La Cruz. And this kind of gives me the Secret Benedict Society vibe. So I do want to read this when I get a moment. It comes out in September. The Pirate and the Porcelain Girl by Enemy Ryback I actually got this book signed, but it is a graphic novel and I do want to have graphic novels on track when I do go back to school because they are quicker. And yeah, I'm excited for this one. The starting art is very, very pretty. Nubia, The Reckoning. I need to read the first book, Nubia, The Awakening, but this is by Omar Epps, the actor. And I'm excited. I love books about that have diversity with mythology. I think that's what this is. So I'm really excited for this one, and it comes out in September. I do have an arc of the first one. It's just on my Kindle. I also got Juniper Christmas by Ian Colfer. This is a Christmas book, and he hasn't wrote anything in a bit, so I'm excited for this one. And I will probably definitely read this around the holidays. Secrets of the Sky, The Chaos Master by Janita Duskapita. She wrote The Serpent's Secret. This is much shorter. It comes out in July. And it has twins in it. I love books about twins. So, but yeah, it's a really, really pretty cover. I also got The Second Sight of Zachary Cloudsby by Sean Lusk. This comes out in December, apparently. And it's a thrilling mystery of love, hope, and the adventures of finding one's place in the world. It takes place in 1760. I'm really excited for this one. I don't know much about it. I try to go into my YA, all my fantasy books with a bit of a blind, but this cover got me. So, Albion Song by P.D. Clark. I think this is his first middle grade book, but it has epic West African and African diaspora, and it's a fantasy adventure for middle grade readers. So I'm really excited for this one. This cover is so pretty. I also got Top Story by Kelly Yang. This is the 5th book in the Front Desk series. Comes out in September. I need to catch up on this series, but I remember really liking the first one. I got Kurt Graff was there signing Merrick Kelly's Detective Club. I love detective stories. I just do. Again, middle grade I tend to read a lot in September and October because they're quick reads as I'm adjusting to the school year, and this one will be great. I also got Batu and the Search for the Golden Cup, and this is a translated book, which I don't ever read. Not that I don't want to, I just don't have access to them or don't know that they're translated. But this comes out June. And it's from Amazon Publishing, and it's translated. I think this has to do with a mythology as well, which I'm always looking for mythology books. For's Tooth by Jimmy Magic Morris is about a acting novel. I think he wants to be like a actor, and I love putting books like this, giving them to my students, and I love reading them because they're very, very sweet. I also got The Final Word, which is middle grade Knives Out meets the Westing game, which again, that just reminds me of the Inheritance games, which was a very, very similar premise. This is for the YA set. This cover got me too. And I got Race for the Ruby Turtle by Stephanie Bermucci. This is a heartfelt middle grade echo adventure full of friendship, self-discovery, and perfect for fans of Dan Gilbert and Gary D. Schmidt. And yeah, I think that this has to do with nature and climate change, which I'm so excited for, and it comes out in October. I also got Graveyard Girl Scream for the Camera by Lisa Harrison and David Cross. I read the first one and thought it was so freaking cute. So I'm excited to read the second one, probably around Halloween. And it comes out in October. I also got the Timekeeper's First Flight and the Timekeeper's Ancient Olympics. I will definitely read this and probably give it to like a teacher in my school that could use it as like a resource manual because I think that they will like it. But I always try to grab a couple for my students or for the teachers in my building. And I also got Storm Dragons by Julie Kagawa. This is the start of a new series for her. And it follows dragons. I'm reading 4th Wing right now and I'm on the hunt for more dragon books. And I think this might feel it. I have 2 more books to show you that I didn't add in my other clip. But they're more YA, so let's go do that quickly. Last 2 YA books that I picked up. And I picked up The Dark Place by Brittany S. Lewis. And this I think has to do with, it's like a murder mystery I think, and it comes out in August. And then Where You Left Us by Rihanna Wild. This is about 2 princesses that can't stand each other, I think, or 2 girls that can't stand each other. And this one comes out in September. But I think this was supposed to be like a Shakespeare retelling, I think. I don't know, but it was pitched to me and I was really intrigued. So yeah, that is my part 1 of my ALA haul. These are books that I didn't know much about going into it, but I picked them up. The next part of my haul will be all the books that I went in knowing I wanted. I went in knowing I really, really wanted these books. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon for that video. Bye, Book Dragons. Let me know in the comments if there's any books that you would like to see me do reviews for. I tend to review all the books I got from cons just at a slower pace than how I get them. But if there's any books that you desperately want to see me review, comment below and I will try to turn it into a video. Bye, Book Dragons. Or give me a concept, like for a vlog I could do, where I could do like 5 of these in one go. I would love to know your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.